You're watching the Red Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
We're going Schoolhouse Rock with the Runnin' Rebels.
It's Schoolhouse Rocky, a chip on the block of your favorite Schoolhouse Rock.
Straight ahead in the Red Zone, we look back at the offensive explosion against South Dakota where it was raining threes. And we all know what 3 is.
3 is a magic number. Yes, it is.
Our lesson also delivers a preview of the conference opener against Fresno State, a team that is absolutely, positively adverb-worthy.
Lobby, 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 get your adverbs here. Quickly, 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 get those adverbs here.
And we interview Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson and ask him point blank how the conference can force teams to schedule tougher to strengthen the RPI. He's putting his answers together, riding the conjunction train.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
Hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
Time for class, Rebel fans. Mandatory viewing of the Red Zone is currently just a bill, but it should be a law.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
The Red Zone has everyone using interjections.
Interjections, show excitement or emotion. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
This is the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
Welcome inside the classroom known as the Red Zone. Thanks for joining us. Kevin Bollinger alongside Runnin' Rebels head coach, the professor, Dave Rice. And a nice week this last week to get things geared up for the conference season.
It was a great week. I thought we bounced back nicely from a tough week against the Arizona teams. 18 made three-pointers, more important, 27 assists. I think it gives a lot of confidence, a lot of optimism going into conference play. I was very, very proud of our response.
And the chance for the players to get a few days off, go see their families, and kind of recharge the batteries here as we go through.
It was a challenging non-conference schedule, a lot of success, certainly some adversity we can learn from. A few days off for Christmas break for our guys, back at it for practice and get ready for Fresno State, a very good team. But very, very pleased with our progress, like the confidence we have going into conference play. Well,
there was only one game this last week. It was a strong showing by the Runnin' Rebels as they dominated on both ends of the floor against South Dakota. UNLV fans feeling the holiday cheer as the Rebels ran with South Dakota. Steven Zimmerman Jr. sitting this one out because of a thigh contusion. It didn't take long to figure out the Rebs wouldn't need him on this night. Ben Carter started things off with the hook in the lane. Dwayne Morgan followed with a strong move to the hole for the bucket. Jerome Seagers dropped back-to-back threes from outside the arc. Carter gets another early one, and Seagers drops another bomb as UNLV hit their first 6 shots of the game and raced out to a 15-2 lead. Watch this great sequence in the half court as UNLV moves the ball around. 14 passes in all as everyone gets touches around the perimeter and inside before Carter knocks home a jumper in a 25-second stretch that was as good as it gets. The 3-ball kept raining down as well. Ike Wamu nailed a couple from deep, and Morgan matched him. Jalen Poyser had a strong game. He gets the hoop and the harm as the 3-point play gets the Rebs running. Then the D. Seagers with the steal, knocking it back to Derek Jones Jr. for the bucket. On the other end, Jones elevates for the big-time block. Poyser got hot. The drive, and he goes glass for 2. Then rattles down a triple. Just before the half, Wamu beat the buzzer with a 3, and UNLV went into the locker room up 51-34. The Rebels picked right up where they left off in the second half. Seagers drives and dishes to Carter for the bucket. Then Carter to Morgan for the lay-in. And Jones gets the basket and the foul. The offense just kept on coming. Poyser with a 3. Carter with a finger roll. Morgan with a pull-up. And back-to-back triples from Pat McCaw and Jordan Cornish pushed the lead to 27. Watch the sweet feed from McCaw to Carter, and he throws it down. Tyrell Green dials up long distance as everyone was getting into the act. Wamu with the bounce pass to Seegers for another bomb. And the capper from walk-on Austin Starr out of Foothill High School, who does so much in practice for this team. He gets the three to close it out. The stats impressive. 6 players in double figures. 58% shooting, including 18 of 32 from three-point range, 11 steals, 6 blocks, and 19 forced turnovers, and triple digits on the scoreboard as UNLV finishes the non-conference season in style with a 103-68 win.
Felt good. Guys were really prepared for this game. We had a great shoot around, a lot of energy, and you could tell with the way we started. We were focused, we were locked in, and everyone got involved. It was overall just a great team win.
A fast start does so much. Hitting your first 6 shots and opening up a double-digit lead early really changed the tone of the game.
I thought it all started, though, with practice after Arizona game. I thought our guys were focused, they were together, and it carried over to the shoot-around and into the game. And when we're like that, when we play with confidence, when we play together, we're a special team, and I think we'll take that into conference play, and we need to. It's going to be very, very challenging.
That 14-pass sequence that you had there was something you really don't see a lot in college basketball. That really was something special.
Well, we're very, very good, like most teams are when we play like that. And I was very, very encouraged, very optimistic coming out of the South Dakota game. They're a good team. We handled them, and I'm very, very proud of the progress we've made. Again, the non-conference schedule has been challenging. It was that way for a reason, to get us ready for conference play. I think we're ready now. We need to take that same effort, that same camaraderie into conference play.
A stat sometimes that gets overlooked, assists. 27 assists in this game. And that's exactly the way that this offense needs to be running.
No doubt. 18 made threes, but a lot of it had to do with we were shooting the ball in rhythm. We played inside out, whether it was through dribble penetration, whether it was through throwing it in a block and throwing it out in transition. We played for each other, and I thought it was a special night. It took us into the Christmas break, into the holiday break extremely well.
When you get 18 three-pointers made, I guess the worrisome thing is that guys now are going to start chucking them up, thinking that you're always going to shoot 50-some-odd% from the floor. You got to make sure, I guess, that doesn't continue in terms of things start going down here.
Yeah, that's one of my mini jobs, to monitor that. But again, we took good three-point shots. I think that's why we made them. We felt like all season long we have good shooters. So if we play inside out, if we play on attack, we'll have success shooting the ball because we have good shooters, but we have to continue to play inside out. And we did that in that game, and I think it'll serve us extremely. We did that in the Indiana game, the Oregon game. Had a lot of success in the non-conference season. Like I've said many times, some adversity. You're going to go through some adversity. I think we've learned from it. I think we're ready for conference play.
We've seen Jalen Poyser play good in spurts throughout this non-conference season, but that game against South Dakota, the best stretch by far that he has played.
I think we've gotten great production off our bench, whether it's Ben Carter, Derek Jones, Jordan Cornish, Tyrell Green, and you mentioned Jalen Poyser. Jalen Poyser is going to be a special player here. He plays on attack, he plays for team, and I think we've gotten great production off of our bench.
Some fans have been worried about the lack of scoring production from Pat McCaw, and I know that he has said, my job isn't just to score, it's to distribute and make my team better. Is there a worry, though, and we saw this maybe in the Arizona State game, that he doesn't get enough touches right now?
There are times that we have to encourage Pat to play more on attack for himself. He's such an unselfish player. The last 2 games, Arizona game and the South Dakota game, he had 7 assists in both those games. He's always looking to make the right basketball play, often at the expense of his own offense. And so we have to encourage him to continue to play an attack, but he does so many right things, whether it's making a great defensive stop or getting a defensive rebound, making an extra pass, but we also need his points, no doubt about it.
And when you have somebody who's that versatile, will we see him maybe playing the point a little bit more because he has done so well this last week or so in distributing the ball?
Well, there's no doubt he's going to handle the ball a lot. We're proud of the progress that Jerome Seegers has made. We certainly have Patrick McCaw. We have multiple ball handlers on the floor. Ike Wamu handles the ball a lot. We got guys who come off the bench and make plays. Steven Zimmerman, Ben Carter, Dwayne Morgan all handle the ball in our offense in terms of what we're doing. We need everybody, and that's one of the strengths of our team is our depth, and we have a lot of optimism going into league play.
Well, the non-conference schedule is over, and now the wide-open Mountain West is ready to begin. Straight ahead in the Red Zone, we're going to preview the conference opener against Fresno State. What are the keys to taking down the Bulldogs on Wednesday night? We break it down in just 2 minutes. Stick and stay.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
For the first time since the 2010-2011 season, UNLV will open the conference season at home as Fresno State rolls in for a tough test to get things going.
Wednesday night, Fresno State comes into the Thomas & Mack for the Mountain West opener, and the Bulldogs will have some swagger. Picked 5th in the conference, and the team that everyone is pointing to that could upset the apple cart this season.
I think we could surprise a lot of people. I know we were placed 5th, and we all feel that we should have been placed higher, and I feel we're going to show a lot of people we can do some things.
Fresno is averaging more than 75 points a game, and their offensive efficiency is up. But they are statistically in the middle of the pack in the Mountain West in offensive and defensive categories through the preseason. Their shooting has been a struggle, the second worst percentage of conference teams and fewest threes made. But they have the Mountain West preseason player of the year in Marvell Harris, who has the ability to take a game over.
He's a very unselfish player who creates for himself and for his teammates.
Harris is in the top 5 in points and assists in the conference, averaging 19 and 5. But the Bulldogs run on defense and use that to trigger everything.
Our main focus is defense, sitting down, guarding the ball, getting out and running.
UNLV played Fresno only once last season, a 73-61 win in Las Vegas. And head coach Rodney Terry knows that the Rebels pose some problems.
Talent level is always good. They're an established program in this league, and year in and year out, you're going to have to, go through Vegas to get some things done, in terms of the program. They've been really tough on us on the glass, second chance opportunities, have been kind of something we've struggled with, in the past with them. And, we just know we have to come and out-compete them at a very high level and not beat ourselves.
This should be an intense game that is crucial in the quest to win the Mountain West.
Before we dig into Fresno State, the stat that we talked about going in was amazing to me. You haven't had a conference home opener since 2010, 2011. Lon Kruger was the head coach back then. UNLV always has to play the final conference game on the road because they're getting ready for the Mountain West tournament. That does not seem like a very fair portioning of the schedule.
It's tough. We host Disney on Ice. Thomas & Mack hosts Disney on Ice the first part of January, so that's the reason for that. And then obviously the conference tournament is at the Thomas & Mack Center. But again, you play the hand you're dealt, and we're excited to have a home opener. It's a challenging game against a very good Fresno team.
A veteran team as well. I believe that they have the most experienced players on their roster of any other team in the Mountain West.
Yeah, they're one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced team in our conference. They're explosive in terms of their athleticism. They play well together, and Coach Terry, Rodney Terry, always has his team playing hard.
Marvell Harris obviously is a key to contain. I guess you can't really stop somebody like that, but he's somebody you're going to really have to contain because he can take a game over.
Well, they got very, very good players. They got depth, they got inside threats, and they got guys on the perimeter, and it all starts with defense. But again, the thing that always stands out with Fresno is they're tough, and they play extremely hard, and you have to be ready because they're going to come at you.
We are going to see a lot of full court pressure from them throughout this game. Is that going to be a key as you guys prepare and practice this week?
Well, there's no doubt we play against that a lot in practice, and so we like the up-tempo game. We feel like our pressure has been good for us, and we felt like against South Dakota it got even better. And we after the Arizona games, we recommitted ourselves to pressure and playing hard and all those things. And I thought we did that in those games. We needed to be more effective in terms of what we're doing. So you'll see more of the pressing and trapping moving forward for sure.
Steven Zimmerman sat out the South Dakota game. He missed part of the Arizona game with that thigh contusion. Where is he at physically, and will he be able to play and be 100% against Fresno?
We don't know yet. He obviously is extremely important to our team. Having him or Ben Carter on the floor on the low block through the mid-post to be able to facilitate offense is extremely important. We'll see. But again, one of the strengths of our team is depth, but obviously Steven Zimmerman is extremely important to the success of our program.
Certainly something that we're going to monitor throughout the week. But up next, we're going to sit down with the commish. A one-on-one interview with Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson to find out what can be done to force teams to schedule stronger and why UNLV was forced into the Wichita State game when other conference teams needed the tougher game. His answers are straight ahead as the Red Zone rolls on.
This hair-raising play of the week is brought to you by Vegas Valley Hair.
Off the offensive rebound, UNLV handles the zone the way it has to be done. 14 passes with everyone getting their hands on the ball around the perimeter with touches inside to keep the defense scrambling until an open look. Ben Carter gets it on the elbow and he knocks it down. It was a thing of beauty, and it's this week's hair-raising play of the week.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, Presented by RC Willie. Your home, your way.
There are a lot of issues facing the Mountain West, but as the conference season begins, the low RPI and lack of scheduling by many of the schools is the top concern. I had a chance to sit down with Commissioner Craig Thompson to find out what's going to be done to get teams to schedule tougher in the future.
It's no secret that the RPI numbers were low for basketball, and a lot of that fell on the schools that did not schedule tough enough games in the non-conference schedule. It doesn't feel like they've done so again this year. What can the conference do to get these schools to pull up a tougher non-conference schedule?
Well, you know, it's something we talk about at every meeting. Scheduling, officiating, and television are three staples. And with all the exempt tournaments around the country and the opportunities to maybe play some neutral court games, it's challenging to get people to come into Mountain West arenas because we win at about an 80% clip, and if you don't have to, you're not going to go and schedule a loss on the road somewhere. So we try to help them with the exempt events. We're starting a tournament, in fact, in the Cayman Islands in 2017 that would guarantee a Mountain West participation. But the other thing is to look at some types of penalties and structures that, you know, the top teams can have a little easier chance of scheduling than some of the lower ranked teams, but it all comes together in the RPI at the end, as you stated, and so everybody's got to pull their own weight, and we maybe have to put in some practices in play that you have to schedule a certain minimum type of standard or you'll be penalized.
The follow-up to that would be the Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge that you have set up. And you have an opportunity to take a school that is going to be good like Boise State and match them up to build their RPI to play, say, a school like Wichita State, yet UNLV got Wichita State and UNLV already had a tough non-conference schedule. Why didn't the conference take that opportunity to take some of these schools that don't traditionally play tough schedules and give them the 2 or 3 schools in that conference that will raise the RPI?
It was like a jigsaw puzzle, certainly trying to find the dates, trying to find the opponents. That makes all the sense in the world to have scheduled a conference champion, Boise State, against Wichita State, who's even been in the Final Four in the last couple of years. You know, those are juxtapositions. Certainly, we are only one side of the equation, and Missouri Valley was the other side of the equation. You know, the good news is a team of a Wichita State caliber or such will be coming back to Thomas and Mack in future years.
Your reaction to what you just heard from Commissioner Thompson?
I think that our track record at UNLV is that we've always played a hard schedule. We're going to continue to play a hard schedule. In terms of the Wichita State game, it wasn't so much about playing Wichita State, it was the fact that we were forced to play them at a certain time of the year that did not work for our schedule. But again, you play the hand that you're dealt and you move forward, and we played an extremely hard schedule. I think it served us well moving forward to conference play.
There are only a couple of schools, UNLV and San Diego State, that do make a concerted effort to schedule tough, and you're the schools that end up getting punished in the end with the low conference RPI when it comes to being a bubble team to get into the tournament, or if you are in the tournament where your seed line is going to be. It's something that certainly should be addressed because the rest of the teams are really kind of dragging the top down.
Yeah, and I think that's something for the commissioner and for people in the league office to deal with. Again, I'm just going to simply deal with UNLV and just talk about the fact that we have the opportunity to schedule a difficult schedule. We continue to do so. I think it helps us moving forward, and we'll always do that.
One thing that the conference did, they re-upped with the Thomas and Mack for the Mountain West tournament, but they lowered it to just 8 teams that are going to participate for that, not this year, but starting when the contract begins on that in next year. Your reaction to not everybody be involved?
I think from a coach and from a player standpoint, you always worry about the student-athlete experience. It'd be nice to have everyone there, but again, I'll defer to leadership, and just that's the decision that was made. But again, we're excited to beat UNLV. We're excited to be moving forward, getting ready for conference play, and certainly the conference tournament needs to be in Las Vegas, and that was a decision that was made.
We're going to take one last break. We're back with the Runnin' Rebels Plays of the Week right after this.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willie. Your home, your way.
Conference opener on Wednesday night out of Thomas and Mack. And important, I know, for the Runnin' Rebels to have a good fan base out there to cheer them on.
fan support has been fantastic, whether it's been at the Thomas & Mack Center or the MGM when we beat Oregon. That's important. They've made a difference, and we appreciate it, and conference play is no different. Really need the fans out there for Fresno State Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at the Thomas & Mack Center.
Yeah, that is an 8 o'clock tip-off, and let the wild, wild Mountain West begin. Thank you so much for joining us in the Reb Zone. We hope to see you next Sunday night. For now, we leave you with the Runnin' Rebels Plays of the Week. Good night.
It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Come on, bring the brand. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my duck off the crib, the spot, the pad. But my house is your house if you throwing it back. Excuse me, it's my home, draining the sand. Soon as these happy faces land, you can run with the cash. Home run, slam dunk, touchdown pass. Mi casa es tu casa, so it ain't no holding back. Another shot of vodka, you know what's in my glass. It's my house, just relax. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you.
Darn, that's the end.
The Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show was presented by RC Willey, your home, your